Well, hello, everyone. My name is Francoise Untermeyer, and I am very excited today to share with you a company called THREE that is just in 3 weeks of pre-launch. And, for me, my background, I am a director of nursing by trade. I specialize in Alzheimer's and dementia. And then prior to that, I worked with the governor of Florida and helped run the brain and spinal cord injury program. And I got invited to an opportunity like this 6 or so years ago, and it transformed my life. I was, a busy mom with 2 small children under the age of 4, and I never got a chance to see them. And when I was at work, I was thinking about my children. And when I was at home, I was thinking about work. And so my husband and I, we have been doing this for 6 years, and we have been so excited to be invited into this company THREE because we've never actually seen an opportunity this early. In addition to being early, it has something that no one else in the industry has. So today we're going to share with you a quick video. And in this quick video, we're going to talk about our mission and our movement of THREE.
All of us are looking for a life of meaning and significance. A life that makes a difference in the world. A life that truly matters. We believe this is found through the right people, platform, and purpose. We call this movement THREE. It starts with giving people greater health through the power of our proactive wellness products. THREE's innovative formulas deliver demonstrable results by maximizing bioavailability and cellular absorption, ensuring people everywhere can enjoy the nutrition they need to operate at their best. Building on our foundation of people-focused products, we provide a platform for unparalleled entrepreneurship and personal growth. THREE is there beside you every step of your journey towards building a business and a better life. Finally, we know that a sense of real purpose, the kind that moves hearts, minds, and mountains, comes through serving and elevating others. This philosophy is reflected in our caring community, which bring hope and life-saving help to people around the world. It's time to redefine what's possible and activate your full potential. It's time to live a life of purpose. It's time for THREE.
So the company THREE is founded on 3 pillars. We believe that we need people, but just not any people. We need people with good intentions, good values, and a desire to make an impact. And when we have something that has purpose behind it with a platform, you can do amazing things. And we want to, as the company THREE, as we move, we just don't want to move as a new company launching new products. We want to move forward with a movement to make a difference, to help people change their world physically, financially, spiritually, and emotionally. And the founder of this company, his name is Daniel PQ. He's a friend of ours. We had the opportunity to work with him on a different platform. And he's probably one of the hardest working men I know, just a huge visionary. He's been in the industry for over 20 plus years. He's built 2 very successful companies and just really wants to take this company to the next level and really be, I think, a vision of hope for, the people out there right now. I think since 2020, there's just been so much uncertainty in the world, and I feel like he really wants to bring hope to the industry. And so he's invited Dr. Dan Gubler. This gentleman here is probably one of the nerdiest, most excited, passionate people about science that I've ever met. He is such a sweet, kind heart, but he has big vision as well to really help people through science. And I love that. He has 15 years of cellular absorption in his past. And, he studied at Caltech. That is one of the most prestigious places in the world. And he just does it in his spare time. He has like 90K TikTok followers. He's always out there sharing his passion about the company. But when he started THREE, he knew that he couldn't just bring products to the marketplace because there's so many of them, right? I know all of us probably can open up our pantry and have 5 or 6 different brands of just things that we're buying, different supplements. So he decided that if we wanted to bring, products to the marketplace with value that would line up with the vision of company THREE, that he would have to bring something that no one else had. And so what we have done is we have gone around the world and we're looking for phytonutrients that have not been discovered. And so there has been, there are 600,000 different plants out in the world, and only 5% of them have been discovered. So not only are we looking for them, we're not just putting them together in any way. We are actually making the curation of it very special for the company 3. There are a lot of companies out there that want to launch a product, say maybe on weight loss, and they call a manufacturer and they say, hey, I want a product on weight loss. And the person looks over behind them, pulls something off the shelf, might put something patent or a proprietary blend into it. And guess what? They sell it. Not us. We're like, we're like the chef that comes to the table with a tray of all these different herbs and spices, and we put it all together and give something special to that customer. And that's what we're doing for you. But not only are we going to have like good quality stuff, because this is a thing, the people say you are what you eat, but it's really not what we eat, it's what we absorb. And that's very important to understand. So we're using a cellular absorption that helps get these phytonutrients, these molecules into your cells so you can absorb them better. So if you take a supplement today, whether it's over the counter or prescription, your body will absorb about 5 to 15% of that. That means 85 to 95% is excreted into waste. And so here with this company, we're going to be able to bypass your gut, go directly to your cell, and give you 90% or higher higher absorption, which everyone has different bioavailability, but regardless, your cells are full. So that's very exciting. And so we have a scientific board of advisors. These are all doctors of all different types of walks of life. And, what I love is that they're not paid. They do this in their spare time. They're really giving their heart and the servitude to share the products of 3, and they really want to make a difference. And so today we are very excited because not only do we have a scientific board advisor today that's going to go over the line of 3 with you, but also our dear friend, Dr. Timothy Schneider. He is world renowned. He was the 9th person in the world to do Lasik surgery. He's an ophthalmologist. He's a surgeon as well. And, he studied at Mayo. He's a John Hopkins doctor as well. Just has a lot of knowledge and a background of how health and wellness as well. So, this doctor today that you're going to hear from has a big passion to serve. He's a big passion to educate. And I'm so excited for you to see him today. So, Dr. Timothy Schneider.
Hey, everybody. I hope you liked my picture. That was from medical school, by the way. So I look a little bit older than when that picture was taken. But it's great to be here. I am a member of the Scientific Advisory Board. And what does that mean? It means that we have several very well-educated MDs that are interested in allowing for all of you to learn about what you need to do to take care of yourselves. Now, one of my passions has always been wellness. And one of my frustrations as a physician is that wellness is not anything that's necessarily taught in medical school. And so it's very difficult for doctors to know how to tell people to keep themselves healthy. And one of the pillars of this particular company is that we are a proactive wellness solution company, meaning that our goal is not only to provide products which are going to change your life and change your bodies, and we're going to talk about how these products can change your health and change your bodies, because that's really what it's all about. On a very foundational level, I want to sort of give you my idea as to why this is so important. And it really comes down to my belief system. I believe that when God designed the human being, that we have an inherent, absolutely amazing body, which if we provide it with the correct nutrition, generally speaking, we are disease-free. And we live in society where we are exposed to toxins. We are nutritionally very deficient in certain minerals and certain nutrients. And then we face all of the other stresses that also play in. So we're going to talk about our 6 products today, but I want you to know that the reason I'm excited about being here and being here with you right now is that my goal is to educate you so that you will understand how your body works, why these products work, what products work, and what makes them different. So that's really what I'd like to get into. I have been a formulator, but as you well know, I'm educated at Mayo Clinic and Johns Hopkins. I'm an ophthalmic surgeon. I love my work. I do, and I'm very busy. But I am here today because I have chosen to try to make my life more, because I do believe that if we can educate people, in other words, make you sort of wellness radicals or activists, to go out and teach your families, teach your loved ones, teach the people that you work with how to take care of their bodies, we can make a real change. So let's get on with the show. The first one that I'd like to share with you is Vitalite. And if I could say anything about this particular nutritional supplement, it is really foundational. And it is the foundation. And I'm so proud of this because most of you have heard of things, Centrum Silver and other vitamins. This is so much more than a vitamin. It really is. And I want to talk a little bit about what makes it different. In the olden days, and not even that long ago, we sort of thought that, if you had vitamins A, B, C, D, E, we would just sort of be healthy. And now we've understood that really that is much too shallow of thinking. In other words, our body requires so many different types of minerals and nutrients. If you eat something like an apple, you might say, well, an apple that has vitamin C in it, but it's so much more complex. There are about 300 to 400 phytonutrients that are in an apple, and our body actually wants most of them. So we have learned in the nutritional space how important different nutrients are. And going through these key ingredients, it's fun because this is so well designed. It hits on everything. First, it's rich in chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is, as you know, it's what makes grass green, but it also is incredibly amazing at locking up metals. So we are exposed to so many metals in our environment, whether it's from the food that we eat or the dishes that we eat off of, or it's the deodorants that we use and the antiperspirants. We are exposed to metals. And yes, we need certain metals, but a lot of the metals that we're exposed to are very, very toxic. It's thought that Parkinson's and some other neurologic could be related to some of the metals that our environment exposes us to. Chlorophyll has an amazing propensity or ability to actually lock up those metals and then dispose of them. So first of all, this is a nutritional supplement, which is so much more than just giving you a vitamin. Number two, it's important for you to know that vitamins are not vitamins. There are ways of synthetically producing vitamins, but when this is done, oftentimes there are certain isomers, which is a variant of a vitamin, that certain variant may not unlock what it's supposed to do in the human body. And so if we use what nature produced, we believe that our bodies, and specifically our DNA, is going to say, yep, I recognize that vitamin, and it's going to work better. So that's really what we use. We use all naturally derived minerals and vitamins. Now, we're also going to talk about an enzyme blend. And why is that important? Because we have so many different phytonutrients, some of these phytonutrients that we eat, like I talked about, if you eat an apple, there's about 300 of them, but they aren't naturally absorbed right away. So this product, Vitalite, has an enzyme blend which allows for us to actually break some of these phytonutrients down so that it can be absorbed and actually absorbed into the cell where it does what it's supposed to do. Omega-3 fatty acids are so important. I would say that we ignore this, but we're starting to understand that when God designed us, we were probably intended to eat more fish than we actually do. Right now, we eat about a 16-to-1 ratio of omega-6s, which are the bad kinds of fats, basically the animal-based fats, and we really should increase. And why is that? Well, if you think about what is your brain made out of, it's primarily made out of omega-3 fatty acids. So you can see that for brain development, for the eye, for nerve function in general, omega-3s are very important. They're also anti-inflammatory, which you're going to be sick of me talking about inflammation, but omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory. So they're incredibly important for your general health. And then let's get to the 72 trace minerals and amino acids. Water is so important. And you might say, why am I talking about water? So when we were designed, we were probably also designed to live next to springs that ran over rocks, in other words, rapids. And when water rubs on a rock, it actually produces some of these minerals, and these minerals are then in the water. They're in the spring water. And when we take that water and we filter it over and over and over again, the minerals are lacking. And the minerals are incredibly important. We need them. But guess what? We're taking them out of our environment. So many of the ways that we filter our water is actually not good because we need those minerals. And so once again, God's way of putting us next to a little rapids and pulling out this natural spring water, which has got lots of minerals in it, is probably the intended way for us. And it's really time to get back there. And what Vitalite has done is put those minerals back in. And the minerals really are sort of the coenzymes that go in and allow for our body to work better. Probiotics. Did you know that you are more bacteria than you are human? Now, the reason I say that is because we actually have more cells that are bacterial in our gut, our GI tract, than we have cells in our body. And that's not by mistake. It's incredibly important to know that there is a beautiful system of these happily living bacteria doing really good things to the rest of our body, and they have to be there. And we've really ignored this. And I think now we're starting to understand how important the biome is. That's what it's called, the biome. And it lives in our GI tract. Now, what does it do? All of these happy living bacteria and viruses work together. They actually produce a barrier which allows for us to absorb and actually to process certain antigens which help with allergy, but they also help with immunity. It even goes further than that. It's actually thought that those bacteria, when they're living in harmony, will actually affect your mood. So depression, certain psychological diseases possibly can be influenced by what kinds of bacteria you have living in your gut. So most of you have heard of probiotics. You don't really know what a probiotic is, but in each of our Vitalite, we have 1 million live bacteria and 3 different variants. So that's incredibly important. And then there's the berry blend, which is actually 10 different berries. All of you know that probably the most healthy thing that you can eat is something that is brightly colored. And so when you eat berries, it's those phytonutrients in there, which are usually brightly colored. Those are the things that you want to eat. Even if you're at the store and you're thinking about buying an ear of corn, should you get the yellow corn or the white corn? Get the yellow corn because it's more brightly colored and actually is better for you. All right, we are going to move on. I'd like to ask you if you have any questions, but that's not how it works when we have no audience. All right, we're going to talk about Revive. This is probably my favorite product, simply because of the molecule that is in this product. And the product that we're talking about is curcumin. And curcumin is incredibly diverse. Meaning it has so many health benefits that it's almost too many for us to talk about. It's anti-inflammatory, it's antioxidant, it's antiviral, it's antibacterial, and it also helps modulate immunity. Now, what do I mean when I say modulate? That's what's incredible about this molecule. It can turn on immunity or it can turn off immunity. So it can actually read the situation and it'll know whether or not to rev it up or shut it down. So curcumin also has certain analgesic effects, it really is phenomenal. I had some dental work done last week, and I'm still on the verge of having a little bit of pain, maybe a little chubby cheeked here. But I took 2 Revive about an hour ago, and I'm pain-free. So it truly is phenomenal. Now, you might say, well, it's you're talking about renewal and recovery. And yes, it does. It does all of those things, primarily because of the anti-inflammatory characteristics of curcumin, but it also has lots of other good stuff in it as well. The reason that I'm involved in this company is because of curcumin. I had been in my kitchen trying to figure out a way that I could, how can I get curcumin because it's so poorly absorbed into the GI tract. And when we take something like turmeric, which is the spice, that curcumin is in, we only absorb maybe 4, maybe 10%, if that, which means you have to take incredible amounts to see any kind of an effect. And so I did some experimenting in my kitchen. And then Ricky and Francoise were kind enough to invite me to a lecture about liposomal curcumin. Once I heard about liposomal curcumin, found out the types of absorptions that we were getting, that's when I was sold. And that's why I gladly took on the opportunity to be involved with the Scientific Advisory Board. There are so many incredible studies about curcumin. I would encourage you, I encourage all of you, and I think I want to throw this in now just because I want to get it out there. Your doctor cares about you. I'm not going to say he doesn't, but he doesn't care about you as much as you need to care about yourself. So I'm hoping that when I talk about certain things and you say, gosh, I didn't know that river water had all those minerals in it, or I didn't know that curcumin did this or that, or I didn't know that turmeric was healthy, get on the internet. You know, there is no barrier for you to go out and learn on your own. In fact, learn more, teach your doctors about this kind of stuff. But if you would right now go and Google curcumin, you're going to see that there is absolutely incredible amounts of research being done about all of these amazing molecules. And some of you know this, I'm sure you do, but right now, currently, if you look at what's going on in the pharmaceutical industry, about 52% of those are plant-based, meaning they started in nature as opposed to starting in a test tube or on a chemistry bench. So anyway, curcumin, it's phenomenal. As you know, it's liposomal, meaning the molecule itself is in a fat bubble, which allows for it to be absorbed, which is why you see such great effects. It's also got some piperin in there, which is actually from black pepper. So not only do we use the liposomal technology, but we also use other methods so that we can get really, really high absorption. Now, it's one thing to get it in, get it into the cell or get it into the bloodstream, but we have to get it into the cell. And the liposome actually protects it all the way through the bloodstream until it gets into the nucleus of the cell where it does its work. I'm going to skip through a lot of these, but it's got a lot of amazing products. I'll use amazing a lot, but let's move on. All right, this is Eternal or Eternal or Eternal. I don't know how to say these, so I guess nobody's really wrong, but this is, as you can see, it's an antioxidant super blend. And I love the way it's described as build your body's age-defying defenses. And what makes this really unique is that it does have antioxidants. It's got liposomal antioxidants, which I sort of like talking about liposomal antioxidants and these polyphenols. And if you look at where most of these incredible superfruits or super antioxidants, where they grow, you'll notice that a lot of them grow at the equator. And you might say, well, okay, well, a lot of things grow at the equator, but there's a reason why all of these super fruits grow at the equator. The reason being is because there is an incredible amount of sun that hits each one of these plants all day long. So just like humans, if we're exposed to the sun without sunscreen on, we are at huge risk for not only sunburn, but cancers. Plants, they're exactly the same. They have had to produce their own type of sunscreen, which are called antioxidants, so they can actually protect themselves from the ultraviolet radiation and the damage. So we come along and we take advantage of that natural sunscreen that those plants have produced for us. We harvest them, we eat them, and they protect us. So it's really cool to see how God has provided us this natural sunscreen, so to speak, that we can eat. And then it actually goes in and it goes inside of our blood cells and finds these free radicals. You've heard of free radicals. They're the ones that they're sort of the rogue molecules that want to go damage and destroy. So if we have antioxidants, they're in our bloodstream and they can neutralize those free radicals. All right, let me see if there's anything else I wanted to say about Eternal. It is liposomal, which means like all of our products, they are easily and rapidly absorbed, meaning that we can get higher concentrations of most of these really beneficial products into our bloodstream. Eternal also has 200 milligrams of resveratrol, which resveratrol has been buzzing pretty big in this industry and the wellness industry for probably the last 10 years or so. And you've sort of heard of longevity sort of in the Mediterranean, the red wine. So resveratrol is an incredible phytonutrient as well. So I think what makes this one most exciting is the fact that it does have liposomal polyphenols and antioxidants, but it also has CoQ10, which is another one of those molecules that at this point, it's not classified as a vitamin, which means not vital. However, it probably should be, and it may be at some point. CoQ10 is incredibly important. It is actually a nutrient which lives in the mitochondria, and it basically is sort of the conductor telling the power pack of that cell to get going. If you take a statin, or if you know someone that is taking a statin, the statins that you take for cholesterol depletes CoQ10, and not only that, but aging depletes CoQ10. So this is one of the probably the best form of CoQ10, meaning that it's liposomal, which means it's absorbed easily. It also has glutathione. Glutathione, once again, glutathione is the most potent antioxidant that our human bodies produce. As we age, it goes down. We think that anti-aging is probably also equivalent with antioxidant. As we age, we oxidize. And so glutathione is incredibly good at decreasing free radicals and preventing the aging process. It's also very poorly absorbed unless you put it in this protective little bubble called the liposome. So glutathione, incredibly important. And then, of course, this also has hydrolyzed collagen. Collagen is incredibly important. I'll talk a little bit about that later. And of course, we talked about it having the 10 superfruits in it. All right, so this is basically everything that I talked about, but I want you to really understand that glutathione is incredibly important. Coenzyme Q10 is really, really important. And of course, this also has collagen in it as well. All right, let's move on to collagen. Collagen is sort of the sexy supplement out there right now. And I love the fact that this is just sort of described as glamorous skin supplement, because it is. And collagen is really important because it's one of the things that our body does produce, but one of the biggest sources of collagen is in our diet. The only problem with collagen in our diet is that unless you're eating a lot of tendons, bones, and ligaments, you're probably not getting a whole lot of collagen in your diet. You also have to be eating a lot of skin. So these are typically sort of the throw-offs. These are the things that we as humans really don't desire to eat, but yet naturally, this is probably the best source of collagen. So because we don't have it in our diet, we actually can supplement it. And that's what this is. This is actually a marine sourced collagen that is actually micronized, meaning that it is actually put into very, very small fragments, excuse me, meaning that we can actually absorb them easier. So the collagen is absorbed. Collagen is then put back together again. Collagen is also, as we age, by the time we get to 50, we're decreasing in the amount of collagen that we make. So what happens when we turn 50? We tend to get more wrinkles. Our skin gets a little bit flabby. And so it's really one of the problems that unless we are taking an external source of collagen, this has 5 grams, we're probably not getting enough. The other thing that's incredibly important, we think of collagen is like, I'm going to take this collagen because I want smoother skin and I want less aging. And it will definitely help that as well. But the one thing that is oftentimes forgotten is that bone health is also important. Collagen is required for your bone health. So if you have loved ones that have osteoporosis or osteopenia, collagen is incredibly important for building bone as well. All right. So these are the main ingredients. We've got the marine collagen, which means that these are fish that were wild caught fish in sustainable open ocean aquaculture process, meaning that I think they used velvet hooks and they didn't hurt them. Keratin, hyaluronic acid, which some of you may have noticed, certain types of makeup will have hyaluronic acid. If you put it on your fingers, very slippery, it will definitely soften your skin. This is one that we take from the inside out. It's also got some other very, very potent phytonutrients, such as pomegranate concentrate and vitamin C and biotin, which you're all very familiar with. Okay, this is our immune product, which is very important. I mean, I think if we haven't learned anything in the last 2 or 3 years, it's that our immune system has to be at tip-top shape all the time. Now, there are definitely things that you can do to boost your immune system, and that's primarily from a supplement standpoint. That's what this product does. This product is meant to enhance or to boost your immune system. Our bodies are incredible. They really are. We face so many viruses, so many fungus, so many bacteria every day. And we have this amazing system whereby let's say a virus comes into our body, it's acknowledged by our body. We may get a little tiny temperature for a little while, but then our immune system kicks in, goes and gets the virus, tells the rest of our body to go fight that particular virus. And then really we can knock that thing out without even getting sick. Now, some of you may have known this very, very, very famous virus that hit us in the last couple of years. There are a lot of people with really strong immune systems that really did not have any issues with this particular virus, despite a lot of people dying from it. So what this particular product does is it enhances, meaning it gives us everything that we need. And specifically, and most of you know this, because if your doctors didn't tell you how to boost your immune system, then we have failed you. But things like vitamin D3 is incredibly important. It is also what our bodies naturally produce when our skin is exposed to the sun. But now we are seeing that vitamin D3 is incredibly important for not only for immune health, but for metabolic diseases like pre-diabetes, and of course for all of our immunity as well. It also has zinc. Zinc is also one of those minerals that will actually sort of slip into the catalyst where we're trying to break down those bad viruses. And so zinc is required to allow those viruses to be broken apart. So that's why zinc is so important. And I'm sure most of you have taken zinc supplements in your life. It also has silver, which is probably silver is actually one of the most potent antibacterial minerals out there, elements out there. And then it also has quercetin, and it has mushrooms, which mushrooms are so incredibly, we're just starting to learn what the potential is for mushrooms, because God definitely put mushrooms on earth for a reason. The research about mushrooms is incredible. It gets more and more every year. Here we also talk a little bit about adaptive immunity, innate immunity. And if I could sum this up, our immune system is important not only for fighting viruses and bacteria. We also are fighting other problems in our system. If you have a cell that's not supposed to be there, our body has to recognize that cell. Now, let's say that cell happens to be a cancer cell. Just to let you know, all of us that are on this call right now have cancer cells in our body. It's natural. But if we have a good immune system, our body recognizes that cancer cell, gets rid of it. And so immunity is so much more than just understanding that we may have a cold we're trying to knock out. We're trying to create a strong immune system so that we can really take care, whether it's a cancer cell, whether it's a fungus, whether it's a virus, but to keep us healthy. So on to Purify. I think I'll say Purify. This one is one of those products that the more I read about this, and I'm so impressed, because I think that if you look at some of the diseases that are taking over, we can't really talk about any of our products helping with diseases, but we can also not ignore the fact that we're seeing an epidemic of things, especially in the elderly. We're also seeing things in our young people, things like autism, things like Parkinson's, things like Alzheimer's disease. These are all things that we don't understand. The medical industry has said, well, we think it might be caused by this, but it could be from this. We don't really have any good treatments for any of this. So that's where our environment comes in. Could these all be related to our environment? And I think the answer is that we have to keep looking, but we can't ignore the fact that we live in a polluted environment. So what is this going to do to help in this situation? Well, the thing that probably worries me the most is things like these forever chemicals. If you remember what happened in Palestine, Ohio, we had these forever chemicals that were released up into the environment. A forever chemical never goes away, which means if you're still drinking tap water, I would encourage you to not. I would encourage you to always drink filtered water. If you're still using pesticides and herbicides, I would encourage you to stop. We're finding lots of toxicity from things like glyphosate, which is Roundup. If you're running, make sure you're not running next to a road where you have cars that are producing emissions that might be absorbed into your bloodstream when you breathe the fumes. Plastics are still a big deal, even though it might say BPA free. But I think we're a little bit ignorant if we think that we can drink out of a plastic bottle and think that somehow we're not absorbing some microplastics. And then again, there's the dishes that we eat off of. Whether or not there's Teflon or not, there's obviously things that rub off. If you're using aluminum, you're probably eating aluminum. If you eat in a cast iron pan, you're probably absorbing iron. So these are all things that need to be dealt with. And that's just sort of the tip of the iceberg. So how do we deal with this? Besides filtering our water, besides taking care to eat as clean as possible, This product is really unique because of something called fulvic acid, and it's really too complicated even for me to explain, or possibly maybe even for me to understand. But fulvic acid is the byproducts of the bacteria that live in the soil. And the soil is actually a very complicated entity in that the bacteria and the viruses that live in the soil communicate. They also feed the roots of the plants. And then what happens is these products, they actually die, and they produce this very, very, very complex material called fulvic acid, which is absolutely jam-packed full of minerals. We talked about mineral deficiencies. And so it really, it gives you a lot of the minerals, but even more than that, it helps your body to absorb certain nutrients as well. So this fulvic acid is, I think we're at the tip of the iceberg, but it's one of those things that I used to think I eat clean, I don't feel sick, I don't need this product, but I use it every day. And I think that the more we learn, we're going to learn that a lot of the issues that we have with our health are probably related to toxins in our environment. And it really is time for us to do something preemptively to protect ourselves and to protect our loved ones. Real quickly, it's got the chlorophyll in it as well. Chlorophyll will actually come to a metal molecule, lock it up, and then carry it away to either the liver or to the kidney. It also has milk thistle extract, which allows for our liver to work in a more potent way, because the main way we get rid of toxins is through our kidneys, through our liver, and then through our lungs and through our skin.
Okay, well, that was amazing. Thank you so much. I've been watching the chat and the value that you bring. I'm like, man, you're just so popular. Everyone's just like, oh my gosh, when are we getting this recording? When can we see this? And it is so true. You bring so much value to the product line. And, I think as you were speaking, I was just asking myself some questions. You volunteer your time. I think it's so important for everyone out there to know that Dr. Schneider is not paid. This is something he chooses to do. Oh, and this is my husband, Ricky, by the way. He's down here, and we're gonna do this together for a little while. But you're not paid to do this. You volunteer your time, and I think that's so important for people to understand. And you are you have a very busy practice, very successful. I guess, what do you see in the company 3, not just in the product, because I think you really brought the value there, but what do you see for those on the other side that are looking at this like, hey, I definitely want to change my health, but at the same time, I would probably like to share this and make some money. Like, what's the value you see of the company and what it could do for each individual? And maybe talk about the support and team too. I think that's important for people that might be scared to do something they've never done.
Well, that's great, because I could talk about that forever. I am excited, Francoise, because of community. The community that I know that are already involved with 3 are such outstanding individuals. People like you and Ricky, people that I know that are already involved with 3. It is an incredible community. Now, there is value in being associated with the right kinds of people, because it is a community. This is not a business. This is a family. And so there is, as we know, when we look at illness, being a part of something and being a part of something with a mission adds longevity to our lives. So there's that. The other thing, and I think I touched on this a little bit, was I want this company to grow huge. And I want it to grow into a very large, because I want huge numbers of people to be educated about their bodies and to how to take care of themselves. Because if the medical industry is not doing it, which they aren't, the pharmaceutical industry is not doing it, which they aren't, our government is not doing it, then it's up to us, and it's up to all of you out there. That's probably my main, that's why I do this for free. And then lastly, I will say this. I have chosen to get involved and to stay involved with this company because of Dan Piku and because of Dr. Dan. Hopefully you'll all get a chance to meet me at some point, but all of you will be able to meet those 2. Dr. Dan, probably one of the kindest people I know. He is one of the most sincere people that I know. He is a nerd. I would say he's gullible to the point of you can't help but love him. But he is so absolutely passionate about changing every one of your health and educating you about it. So we are, I feel like we're really meant to be together at this point because he can take the science and I can take the medicine, and then hopefully we can translate into a way which all of you can digest and take it out to the world.
Yeah, so for me, first off, it's an honor, it's a blessing, and you're a true representation of what this company and more importantly, this team stands for, and it's servant-based leadership that really, truly love people. You know, I've met a lot of doctors in my life, and there's a difference between, you know, giving a patient what they need for a sickness, then actually going out and caring about the person on a heart level. And you show that time and time again. So we are super blessed to have you a part of our team. He's ours, so we're going to keep you super blessed. You know, you're one of our best friends too, because of your heart. We want to surround ourselves with people that want to make an impact, truly do love people. And you guys have been so encouraging to my wife and I in our hardest seasons, but also in times where we needed to be extra motivation that we can do something. You're our biggest cheerleaders, you and Donna. We love you like family. But as we end this, my thing I want to ask you, we have had the blessing and opportunity to share three from your office almost every Tuesday. And for you as a doctor, your main mission, I think, as any doctor, is to evaluate people. And as you have been able to sit there and share your heart, your wisdom, the part about three that should make people want to join. What is your evaluation from watching the people that's on this team, the leadership, the team that we go out, not just my wife and I, other leaders that you've been able to evaluate? What is your evaluation from your title, the doctor that does that every single day?
Well, I think I would have to say, number one, you understand, you heard my heart, right? So I love the people. If you don't love the people, please don't get involved with this company. But I promise you, once you get to know the people that are involved with this, it's going to feel right. You're going to sense a sense of peace. And that's what I have found. I also want to say this, because I think it's really important. I love what I do. I do. I get to change lives every day. I get to restore vision. And there are others of you that are on right now, and you say, you know what, I like my job. Please get involved. Get involved. This is going to, that's the beauty. I mean, this is community. This is a way for you to financially supplement your income. This is a way to change your health. This is a way for you to really change the health of America. And I know that's a little bit, maybe a little bit lofty, but if we don't do it, who is? No one is changing. So Ricky and Francoise, you have been role models to me. I love you like you're my children. And honestly, it is. This is a fun group. If you're out there thinking, I would try to get to Salt Lake City and meet with them, and God's going to give you a yes or a no, I promise.
Well, thank you, Dr. Schneider. I know this is your Saturday to give us an hour of your time to the world of three, one family, marching forward to help and bless people. I know it's valued, and we can't thank you enough. So God bless. We love you. Thank you.
Okay, well, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Dr. Schneider. What a blessing. And the chats were like lighting up. So awesome. Well, the next thing we're going to really move into more of the business side of this. Like I said, we just launched, we're 3 weeks in. So we're in the pre-launch phase, and we'll do this all the way to May. And the end of May, we're actually officially launched to the world. So you are the first to hear about this. And, you know, a lot of times people say when you get in early, you do well. This is true because there's market share abilities right now. We open in 14 countries day one. That's huge. Excuse me, there's been companies that have been open for 6+ years that are only in 12 countries or 8 countries. So for us even to be in Greater China on day one is amazing. And as you can see here on the left-hand side, we're not just opening in 14, there's 100 more to follow. So let me just share with you why this is so exciting. All right. So to get involved in something like this, it's $30. Okay. And then you get a business package, and that's basically your website. If you want to share with people, they can just go to your website and buy from you. But then also you buy a package of products. That's your initial purchase. So each person will buy a package to start with. And there's all, different prices here. Whatever way that you come in on this page, you're paid 8 ways. Now, there's an opportunity to make a ninth way of getting paid. So I'll explain that to you in a minute. So once you come in, you buy your initial package, whether it's the intro pack, the premium pack, the business pack, or the founders pack. But this founder pack has something special. And this is one of the things that I think people get so excited about seeing a company so early, is because they can become a founder. And that's really a gift from the co-founder. I mean, it's really a gift from the founder and the CEO of the company to help this jet get off the runway. And so the founder pack here has so many different, I think, perks to it. So when you buy this package one time, okay, you're in a pool of money. You get a revenue share. The company's giving out 2% revenue share of 14 countries. And we're going to sell 20,000 of these. So only 20,000 of these founder packs be sold, and they go away forever. And what they do is they take 2% of that revenue and they put in a pot and they divide that among 20,000 people. So when you buy that one time, you're in that pool for life. You can never lose it, but you get these products. Okay. So these products are going to be delivered to your front door. It will be a big package. As you can see here, the numbers reflect the products and the quantity. So as you see, the collagen, there's 7, the Vitalite is 7, the immune is 7, the purify is 3, the revive is 3, and the eternal 7. So you're going to get all of those multiple, each one is a month supply. So you can either have 7 months supply, or you have enough to share with people in your family, or you have enough for sampling. Now, there's additional perks that go along with this. If you look over to the right, now you're going to get $440 of free products. So if you were to buy all these products individually, it would cost you $440 more. In addition to that, this has 3 months of your smart ship incorporated into it. So that's about $100 a month of overhead for your smart ship. You pick out like 1 or 2 products that you want, and you order that monthly, and that's the bill that gives you the ability to make money off of people off your team. Do you have to be on smart ship? No, you could sell products and just make money off of what you currently do. But if you want to make money off of everybody, and that's the beauty of direct sales and network marketing, is being able to make money off of your team, and your team makes money off of you. It's a community thing. That's really good to have. So that has 3 months incorporated into that. So 3 months built in, that's about a $360 value on top of the $440 value. So to me, it's a no-brainer. And then you're also paid more for the next couple months. So instead of you just getting paid at 35 cycles, you get paid 45. And it's a lot to talk about and absorb right now, but just know there's more money for you to be made when you buy this package. And then finally, the 2% rev share. So, out of my check last week, I have, 2,000 of my check just came from this revenue share. So literally my first week basically paid for itself with the founders. And that package right there is 1960. That's 1961 time. And then you're in that founders pool. And again, it's very limited. There's only 20,000 that's shared among all 14 countries. So if you see this today and you're like, I would love to do this, but I'm a little frightened. I don't know how to do anything like this. I've never tried it before. Don't worry, we've got you covered. This right here is something I really pride myself on. I have been gifted in systems and processes as a director of nursing. I had 4 departments, my largest over 1,000 people. And I was always able to put systems and processes in place to make things easy for people to understand and to be successful. So my last company, we took 27 people and turned it into over 40,000. So I'm very, I feel very confident that we can help you. And really, honestly, there's no skill set that you have to have or special talent, just a desire to change your life and good values and good intentions, because I think people follow that. So we have different ways for you to share this. One is what you're seeing today. If you're watching a pre-recorded Zoom or a live one, that's one way, or 2 ways we share. Then we do 3-way calls. And then some people do events, and you can come to an event, sit down, listen to it. A leader will speak about it in the front of the room, kind of like I'm speaking now. And then we help you answer your questions. So you're never doing this alone. And so for you guys, as we conclude here, I love this because it really puts you in a group and you can identify where you're at. Group 1 is somebody who is really not interested in their health, or, making extra money. And most likely they have signed off and they're no longer with us. Group 2 is somebody who's really just committed to their health and a healthy lifestyle. And so that would be group 2. Group 3, I think, is somebody who wants a little bit of both, right? They're not really sure where their place is, but that would be a group 3. And group 4 is someone who heard about the 2% rev share and maybe have been offered an opportunity, something like this in the past. Maybe it was, get into Bitcoin when it was very early, or, someone asked you to invest in something and you saw it go skyrocket high. And you're like, man, I wish I could have, shoulda, right? But this is one of those opportunities you can be on the ground floor and you see the value. So that would be group 4. For those of you who have stayed with us this whole time, I, again, apologize, it was a little bit longer than normal, but we're very happy you were here and to be educated on our company 3 and the products. So I would encourage you to get back with the person that invited you and look at this beautiful opportunity. I don't believe things happen by coincidence. If you had enough courage to get on here and learn, then you're obviously looking. And if you've been praying for something for 2023, this could be it. It's transformed my husband and I's life throughout the last few years. And we're really looking for those who are out there praying and searching for something new. Let's make 2023 the best year yet, and looking forward to working with you in the future. Take care and God bless.